It's 5 a.m. in the morning as George Malaya sets off to go fishing for his daily catch. For 27 years he's been fishing the reefs just off Honiara, capital of the Solomon Islands. But like fishermen around the Pacific, George has noticed the catches are no longer what they used to be.
Before we catch fish here, but now fish is a bit less to come in here, and it's not like before. We plenty times we see fish coming up, but now no more, so we have to go far out.
And it's further out to sea that the cause for the declining catches can be found. These days, a huge fleet of foreign industrial fishing vessels plies the Pacific, catching tuna to feed insatiable markets in Asia, Europe and the US. The Pacific is among the world's last relatively healthy fishing grounds and provides over 50% of the global canned tuna. But in this $3 billion industry, most of the money is made outside of the region. Only 6% of the revenue flows back to Pacific Island countries in the form of access fees from fisheries agreements. But the Solomon Islands government intends to break this pattern and take control over the tuna in its own waters.
To me, I think the future of Solomon Islands as well as the Pacific region lies in its oceans and the resources in there. So through the tuna resources, I think Pacific Island nations command respect. They also control this resource.
The government-owned fishing enterprise Soltai provides the country with tuna and much-needed employment. Its vessels mostly catch their fish by pole and line, a more selective and therefore more environmentally friendly fishing method. The country is investing to expand this fleet and increase the domestic capacity for onshore tuna processing. At the same time, the plans call to restrict the number of licenses for foreign vessels to fish in the country's territorial waters. It's a bold and ambitious approach for a country which has always depended heavily on foreign aid and fisheries access fees and is currently negotiating trade agreements with partners such as the European Union.
I think this new policy to more and more and then completely do our own thing as our industry comes will be making us more independent of the aid that we're getting now. Yeah? I think we will be putting us towards to a point where we achieve self-determination.
For the time being, Honiara's port is still full of foreign fishing vessels that transship their catches, taking the tuna and the profits elsewhere. The combined harvest of both licensed and illegal vessels operating in the Pacific have caused a sharp decline in certain tuna stocks. In order to prevent a looming catastrophe, drastic and concerted measures are required, according to environmental organization Greenpeace.
If tuna is to run out in the Pacific, it will have a major impact on economies, the environment, and food security. This is why it is very important for Pacific Island country leaders to work together in solidarity to decrease fishing and to negotiate fair fisheries agreements with their foreign fishing partners.
While George Malaya motors his small catch back to shore, others have given up fishing and are buying fish discards off the vessels in port. This October, regional politicians have a unique opportunity to address the impending tuna crisis at the Pacific Island Leaders Forum in Tonga. George's future and that of fishermen around the region depend on their decisions for a fair and sustainable management of tuna in the Pacific.